Well, millions of Americans traveled for the holiday weekend, whether by car or by plane. Amid all the chaos, staying on track with your health can also be a challenge. So joining us today is Swanson with Life Well Lived. And Kara, you have some great health tips for us if people are still planning on doing some summer traveling. So how is it possible? How can we stay on track while traveling? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. So the first tip I have is pack your own food. So don't always rely on airport or, gas station for food. You can easily bring food through the security at the airport or load up a cooler to bring in the car. And that's just an easy way, to kind of have some control as you're at least going to your destination.
Absolutely. And I think people forget that you can take food items through security at the airport, because quite often I'll pack something and like, you can't take that. I'm like, yes, you can. So make sure you check the rules and regulations, but you can control that. Speaking of control, let's talk about some other things that can help us while we're traveling, but still trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, so control what you can, right? You might not have much control over maybe lunch or dinner, but you can at least start with a solid breakfast in the mornings.
All right. And another great advice. What do you think about, when it comes to snacking? Or I think when we're on vacation, we feel like we can just kind of do mindless eating and enjoying, which I encourage you to do. Good out there and celebrate life. But what would you say to that when we're trying to stay on task?
Yeah, so obviously it's vacation, right? So we're gonna have snacking and that's okay, but maybe avoid the mindless snacking, snacks are okay, but just choose, what you're gonna snack on, and just avoid snacking on things you don't particularly like just because they're there.
That's
be
very
aware
true.
of what you're eating.
Yeah, be aware of what's going in your mouth sometimes. That's the biggest thing. Any final tips when it comes to traveling and staying healthy?
Yeah, always stay hydrated. So if you're only going to choose one thing to focus on, while you're away, is make sure you're drinking enough water. This is really easy no matter where you go.
Very true. And I always feel like you need it more so, especially when you're flying, just to make sure you're not drying yourself out. Kara, always great to see you. Thank you for these wonderful tips. If people want to learn more, how can they do so?
Yeah, you can go to my website, lifewelllive.fitness, or on Instagram at Swanson.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.